How would you describe your time in bed? Fast and furious, broken down, or slow and steady wins the race?
Oh, fast and steady at the same time.
Fast and furious or slow and steady, or a little in between.
He's not going to be able, so it's just that answer. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I think he's going to say slow and steady,
okay.
But I think it's fast and furious.
Okay.
Episode 32. Sorry, I had a moment.
Welcome back to Straight Candid Podcast, where Sid's fucking weird. Just kidding. Welcome back to Straight Candid Podcast, where we take pride in saying the wrong thing, drinking too much caffeine, and talking too fast. Here at Straight Candid, we live unfiltered. No edits, deletes, or drags and drops. Just two Minneapolis girls who hit record and keep it candid. Let's get into it, baby.
Ooh, we are back for episode number 32. I don't know why I feel like I have to say this. I'm Sydney.
I'm Sophie.
I feel like we don't ever say that, and you're probably like, people probably figure it out, but if you're new here, hi, welcome.
If you're new here, at Candid Sid and at Candid Soph on Instagram.
Toss us a follow.
Yep.
Boys and girls, let's just recap the weekend because
boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen,
had a wonderful time with her little wake surf. I taught her
Sid,
how.
That was part of my Candid moment
Was
that
it?
you fucking ruined,
I
but
ruined
it's
it. I'm
fine. Yeah, recap of the weekend. First, rewind. Class workout on Saturday morning. We had an awesome show up. You guys absolutely killed it. We coached some HIIT workout at class in Uptown, and we had Uptown Hub Nutrition bring us some shakes after.
Shout out to them. And my stomach actually didn't bug me, which is wild. They're going to help me figure out what little mix and match is going to actually help me not use the restroom every time I have a shake, because it's a me problem. It's not a shake problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like an internal tummy thing that I've got going on. But you guys, the turnout was awesome. We sold out. We've got another one July 17th. We'll give you the link soon, I promise. It's going to be 10:30 a.m. same time at Class Minneapolis. And by the way, it is not a dance class, so I just want to toss that out there.
Good call.
The studio is a dance and HIIT workout studio, so like separate. Those are separate things. You get a workout either way, but our class is not a dance class. It's a HIIT workout, I promise. So
also side note, okay, if you guys follow us on Instagram, which if you haven't yet, at Straight Candid Podcast, the firefighter that I posted on our story DM'd us today and said he's coming to the July 17th workout, and guess what? He's bringing his firefighter friends. So get on it fast. That's all I gotta
ladies,
say.
get to work. Sign up, please. It was fun though, and there were more guys this time. Not only there wasn't one, there was four. No,
four.
Four.
Oh, four.
Four.
Yeah.
There's four. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's growing, and they said it was badass, and they kicked their ass. And one of my friends texted me after and was like, "My ass cheeks hurt," and I'm like, "Hey, that's what you get."
They also tried really hard. I was kind of laughing.
They did. It was cute.
It was cute. It was really cute. Okay. So firefighter recap, class recap. Sid did. Yes, I've had a few people ask me if I was invited on the boat. I was invited. She came. Jordan's boat,
where it all began.
And
JBJ.
Yeah, where it all began actually. But yeah, you guys, I tried wake surfing. And I'm just saying, like, I'm an athletic person, but this whole water sport thing, like, I haven't done it. And a lot of, newbies tried on Saturday. I was the only newbie that tried, and I looked like a complete naff.
No, you didn't.
No, I was so naffy.
You weren't naffy. I wouldn't say that. You were just a little wobbly.
Just a little naffy.
She'd get up and shake, shake, shake. Whoa, flies forward, and then she gets up, her head pops up, and she goes, "I was trying to hold on the rope there." Like, I'm like, "No, let go of the rope if you fall."
Guys,
like,
the first time
what are you doing?
The first time I tried, I didn't want to give up, so I just kept.
She like dragged like 30 feet from the freaking board. I'm like, dude, let go of the rope.
I just kept holding on to the rope because I didn't want to give up.
I'm like, ma'am, you're gonna get sucked under. I'm scared.
I did. It was really hard.
Oh God.
Okay, I guess we're kind of talking straight candid moments, so I'm gonna go into my other one.
Okay, you go.
My other straight candid moment. Okay, this was a week ago, but I was on antibiotics, so I went out for my friend's like going away party, and we were drinking, all the good stuff, but you know how I mentioned the podcast before this, how I was sick of always like being the party girl and whatever.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go out and socialize, but I didn't want to drink. So I also was on antibiotics, so it was a great excuse. So I drank water the whole time.
Genius.
And you guys, it was amazing. I felt so good on Sunday. I was drinking water with limes. I even took a tequila shot with all my friends, but I ordered a water shot for myself. And I'm just saying, like, I think I'm going to do it again. And I decided that I wasn't going to drink because after that weekend or after that day, I was like, this is awesome. I feel amazing.
Good for you.
But then this weekend happened and I went back to Sophie.
Oh yeah, I was definitely there for that. And then you went to the wedding.
Yeah. But
we had a fun time on the boat though.
Yeah, it was really fun. So next weekend I'll drink water with lime again, but
good call.
Yeah, it was a good switch up for me.
Well, part of my straight candid. Wait, are you done or did you have another one? Did you have another moment?
No.
Okay.
It is all you, babe.
Part of my straight candid moment is literally because of the Bud Light Seltzer, so I just have to go into that. The Bud Light Seltzers launched their limited edition iced tea and lemonade packs. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't believe these are limited edition, but they are new because I was looking at the wrong piece.
I'm staring at your pinky nail right now, and that was my other.
Oh my God.
My other straight candid moment was the fact. Wait.
I told you.
Okay.
I cut it.
I'm actually really pissed.
You guys, Sophie legitimately wanted to pay me money to bite off my long pinky nail. And I kid you not, my nails were the longest they've ever been and they were ratchet.
Wait,
they were ratchet. I cut them down. I cut them all down.
Your nails aren't done. I've never seen this before.
I know, I didn't have time. I told her to stop because I had to go have another meeting.
But anyways, I told Sid I would Venmo her $100 if she would let me bite her pinky nail off because
she was being serious.
Yeah, I was being 100% serious because I've never clipped my nails in my life. And I know it's gross, but it's a habit I've had forever. And the satisfaction I would get from biting your pinky nail off, and now the fact that you clipped them all, you should have called me over and you could have let me bite them.
Okay, but
that's so weird.
Literally, as we're drinking, we're on the boat, we're drinking seltzers, you know, everyone's like getting fired up a little bit. She literally was like telling everyone, you know, that she wanted to bite my pinky nail off, and she literally like got it close to her mouth, and then she goes, "Arr." She like tried to grab it with her front teeth. I'm like, get out of here. What are you doing? Like,
it's fucking weird. Okay.
Speaking of the boat though, this is what I meant to say is Bud Light Seltzers iced tea and Bud Light Seltzers lemonade are the perfect combination for summer. I do have to say the best moment of the lake was when our buddy Chris literally was like, oh, this is how you do the Bud Light iced tea and lemonade mix. And
originally he was going to just drink one and we're like, no, you have to combine them.
That's why he did it. He's like, watch, I can water flow it in my mouth. And he it actually was pretty sick though. But he was like, that was pretty good.
So we took the lemonade and then he also took the seltzer at the same time, right?
The iced tea one. I think it was the peach. Mm-hmm. And he said it was bomb.
Yep, so good. And he just water flowed them into his mouth.
Water flowed.
Was that the word I'm looking for? Water. No. I did just have a seltzer. I'm not gonna lie. He waterfalled them into his mouth at the same time. It was classic.
It was classic. And I did also notice, as long as you're drinking responsibly, that they're 5%, whereas other seltzers we will not name are 4.5%. Just saying, drink less carbonation. Just throwing that out there for the kids, okay?
Less calories.
Not the kids, people over 21. You know what I mean? I just need to stop talking, okay? I did not have any beer this weekend though, and guess what? I found out that the back of my arm has been bumpy because I might be allergic to gluten. And thankfully, my arm bump didn't come back when I was drinking these seltzers. So anyway, remember you can get all the different flavors at Bud Light Seltzers and of Bud Light Seltzers delivered at budlightseltzer.com. Oh my God, I can't read these things today. Budlight.com, not budlightseltzer.com/delivery, or pick it up at your local neighborhood grocery store, convenience store, or liquor store. Okay. We have a very funny picture coming that we worked very hard for. I'm not going to lie. Of us with the seltzers. I'm not even going to give any info. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, it looks like we worked hard, but the funny thing is that we really didn't because you were so good at what you were doing.
Oh, toot my horn a little more.
You know what I mean? Okay. I don't want to disclose it yet, but okay. Straight candid moment. What you got?
My straight candid moments, I'll try to keep them quick because this episode is full of juicy content and it got long in a good way though, you guys. You're going to want to listen to the end. I promise you.
We don't know who they is yet.
I'm not saying who it is yet, but I'm saying
we have a guest.
What I wanted to touch on this episode is Sophie and I produce content that is real. It touches on things that have happened in our past life. They can be intimate at times. They're not raunchy, but they're meant to help people. That's the intention of what they are: entertain and help. And I will have to say, our last title, you know, it was like breakups and sex with your ex. And honestly, I did not think of Jordan when we wrote that title, and I felt really bad because I made him feel kind of bad. You know what I mean? And that it was because I made a weird decision to not tell him, hey, we're having a, you know, more like fiery title with some content in there. And I want to be real and say, like, we're a real relationship. We have real life issues. We have to talk things through. We're, you know, not always perfect. We get along large majority of the time, and I'm very happy and lucky, and I love the shit out of him, but I have to be careful not to say things that will hurt his feelings. You know what I mean? But I'm never going to mute myself. I'm always going to be real with you guys, but sometimes you have to be checked, and I kind of got checked, and I was like, you know, hey, I probably said some stuff that I weren't bad at all, but I should have given him a warning. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that'll happen from time to time, but I just wanted to be real with you guys that's real life. That's how it goes. That's what happens. And I should have been honest, and yeah, we're human. So wanted to leave that on the table. I do have 2 short, funny stories. One was that we went to his brother's graduation, and we hadn't had a lot of quality time together, and we're sitting in the back, and the mic went out. We couldn't hear anything. We're in this church, like we're sitting there. It's this huge church in St. Paul. And he kept like touching my leg, like laughing, you know, like, haha, like we were making jokes because we were bored in the back. 3-hour long ceremony.
He was touching your leg.
I'm not going to lie. I got totally horny in the church. Nothing happened, but I was like fired up beyond belief. I'm like, whoa. I was just like sitting in the chair and I'm like, oh my God, Jesus is watching me. Oh God.
Holy or horny in church? Holy church, horny
both,
church.
I think a little bit. I'm not going to lie though. I'm just going to leave
horny?
it. I know.
What
the hell? Literally.
I like that. Good job, Jordan.
We went out. No, nothing happened in the church. Don't worry, you dirty little creatures out there. The other thing I was just going to say was I was laughing so hard because my sister and I are never hungover at the same time because she's in college and I'm out of college. I don't drink as much. And she calls me and she was like, Sid, I'm so hungover. And we had to go to this family birthday party and I'm in the car and I'm like, Taylor, I'm dying. And I was being serious because I was so confused and my head hurts so bad and I'm trying to turn it on. She goes, I'm going to get you McDonald's. I know the cure. She goes, I've been here before. I'll get you a caramel frappe from McDonald's. And it fucking cured me. But she rolls up. I'm not going to lie. She rolls up to to order. Mm-hmm. And I'm on the phone and I'm like we're geeking. And she's like, can I get a McChicken? I mean, no. She goes, can I get a muffin with the sausage and the
pancake?
She goes, sorry, 2 of those, and the hash. And she goes, I'm sorry, I'm so hungover, I can't even talk right now. And the guy, I just hear the guy just crack up, and I'm like, God, this is a straight Candid moment right here. Just us, just so hungover, 2 sisters like ordering McDonald's. I don't know.
I always go to McDonald's when I'm hungover, and
I feel like it's a savior.
The McGriddle.
Dude, that's what I like.
Yeah, I'll have to try the double caramel frap. What's it?
The caramel frappuccino or frappa McDonald, dude. I don't know what they call it.
McDiddle doodle.
I won't even backtrack or leave you with any more fluff at any more than what we've already given you with my weird ass stories. But you guys, we have Jenni Knapmiller and Curtis, I can't say his last name because I can never say it correctly, from Are You the One, MTV's season 2, coming on today, right now, coming for your ears to talk about the reality of reality TV, being on a reality TV show, finding love. What's the dirt? Like, what do they not want you to know? Is it fucking real? Would they do it again?
Yeah.
All this shit coming for your ears, and I'm beyond excited.
Yeah, you guys, the juice that they shared, like they've never talked about this story behind the scenes of what happened during the production and stuff before. So this is the first time they're kind of speaking to this. So it was really cool to hear what they had to say. Jenni and Curtis, first of all, they are in the cutest relationship that I've ever seen. They just got engaged in October, right?
Yep. Getting married in April.
Yep. So they are coming on Are You the One? If you haven't seen it, it is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix right now. Go watch it. Season 2.
Yep. Again, season 2, like Sid said. So please enjoy. But without further ado, let's bring them on.
Jenni and Curtis. Curtis and Jenni, welcome in to the podcast. I just tried to cross my leg and it didn't work, so I had to go back to how I was sitting before.
Tight pants.
You know,
tight
you
pants.
sit back, try to be like the host.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Well, welcome.
I go, never mind. You guys, hi.
Hi.
How's it
We're so
going?
excited that you're here.
We're excited to be here.
Wow.
Whoa.
Really, really quickly, do you
Really
want to
quick.
just say who you are first, and then we can ask you questions, and
Yeah.
then we can just say, how the heck do you know me?
All right. How
Just
do
say
I?
who you are
Oh,
first.
who I am.
Yeah, we want to know who you are.
I am Jenny.
Hey, Jenny. Welcome in.
Hey. Yeah. So I'm Jenny, and I'm here because I know these gals. They want to do a podcast and hear more about the reason why him and I met.
Ooh.
So
Who's him?
who's him?
I'm Curtis
Who is he?
Hadzicki. I'm 6'1" 3/4. I'm like, well,
Hey,
what's
Curtis.
the right amount of information?
Your mini elevator pitch.
Yeah, right.
Do I have to say a verb first before my name?
Yeah.
Have to.
Jumping Jenny.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm crouching Curtis.
Crouching? Why crouching?
I'm just always ready. I guess
Oh,
my athletic
Oh,
stance.
shit. Curtis.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
I know Jenni and Curtis because Jordan, my boyfriend, went to college with Jenni.
That
at
is
Winona.
correct. Yep.
Perfect. And then the reason we got connected is because I visited you guys in San Diego with Jordan, like, what was it, a month ago, probably?
Yeah.
Around there, yeah.
And Jordan warned us. He was like, you guys are really similar. Like you're going to like her, but like, I mean, like, you're really similar. Like, it's scary. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. We get out there.
Immediately. Fireworks.
Scary.
Weird.
Scary.
Bizarre.
Fireworks.
Fireworks friendship wise.
It was
Friendship
like-
fireworks. okay?
Sure,
It
sure,
was
sure.
weird. You're like, it was like butterflies for a friend. You're like, what? Oh,
You know what I just thought of? The song that goes, and when you feel the touch, I feel the static. And every time I'm picturing you guys just
could fly. Oh, I shouldn't sing. I won't
Stomping
sing.
and snapping.
Yeah, stop, Soph.
But we hit it off, and you guys are hilarious, and I love you guys, and we
had a good time.
We did.
Yeah, that was
we
a
had a
blast.
really good
Way
time.
too much fun.
Way too much sunglass situation.
Oh my
A little bit
gosh.
of fireball,
Little
little
fireball.
sunglasses.
You know it's real when you have matching sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
we have two pairs.
Yeah. Now you guys are set.
Twofer.
It's a twofer situation. But really, though, the exciting part is Jordan told me that you guys were on Are You the One? Because I hadn't watched that show before.
God bless you.
God,
I need to
thank
rewind.
you,
And that's okay.
Jesus.
I need to rewind just a little bit because I was on, I was out and about on a walk. You were in San Diego.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you FaceTime me and you're like, yeah, like I met a really cool girl. She was on Are You the One? Jenni and Curtis. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I watched that season. So I actually knew who you guys were like before, because I watched you guys on TV and I was obsessed with you both. I thought you both brought some cool dynamics to that season.
I feel like I was horribly boring, but that's okay.
No, so I'm so
Whatever.
excited to dive into the reality TV, dynamic with you guys, but then also
dirt.
talk about your relationship now. So
Yes.
that's kind of why you're here, and we're excited to have you. But first,
Season 2, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Season 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I
I
thought.
think there's like 8 seasons, but
and it's on Netflix now.
It did. It was
Yes,
released on
it
Netflix.
was re-released.
Yeah.
Which
In
will-
December during the pandemic when no one had anything else to do but watch the show.
and that is what I did. I watched
Yeah.
you both.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh man! So you got the.
Yep.
We'll talk about it. I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah, yeah.
we'll get there, but
Can we
The re-
talk about it?
let's.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, let's
where
talk
do
about
we
it.
start? I mean, give us a tiny bit of like why you both went on, and then let's jump into the whole get into the meat
The
because that
whole
one's
thing.
quick.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to go first?
Yeah,
Or-
I'll go
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
So it was season 2, right? So I was living with my brother at the time, and we watched season 1. And of course, like all guys that watch that show, I was like, what a sweet setup. Yeah. All you got to do is go and hang out with these girls, and then like you can win some money. I was like, I could win this game. So then, yeah, I like applied randomly one night, and then a few months went by, and then finally got a call back. And and ultimately it came down to like, I wanted to see the experience of like, I was also in school at the time. So I was studying like film and audio. So I was like, I want to see what this production looks like. Like we all have our, what do you think goes like, everybody asks, is it scripted, blah, blah, blah. It is a production, 1,000%. It's
Totally.
a huge production.
We want to debunk that too. Like we
Yeah, yeah.
want to hear the insider scoop, but I
Yes.
won't interrupt.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, we go through this whole process. We get like interviewed by psychologists and dating profiles.
Matchmaker.
Yeah. And the psychologist specifically told me, he was like, you seem pretty normal to want to do this. What's the deal? And I was like,
Funny enough, he told
Too
me the
normal.
exact same thing.
No.
We found this out afterwards, but yeah, this guy was super cool, and he's been the psychologist for multiple shows, and and him and I immediately just chatted and hit it off, and he was like, I gotta warn you, I don't think you should do this
because you were too normal.
I was too normal. And I found out he said the same thing to Curtis, which is ironic.
And I was like, I understand what this is. I know that like any, I don't know, any small group of people, I was like, any pro athlete experiences this, like you get to be in this small group of people that all had like shares this experience. I was like, it's going to be different. Like something's going to happen. So I was like, and at the time in my life, I was like doing a lot of yoga. So I was like, I'm ready.
You were doing yoga?
Yeah, it was a class. It was fulfilling a requirement. But
I did Tai Chi for that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. A lot of energy.
A lot of pushing energy.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
ooh, yeah.
That impressed me.
Yeah.
Push and pull that energy, Jenni.
Yeah.
It was honestly a fantastic class, and I would recommend it.
Fantastic
Winona
experience.
State.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was watching it with my roommate at the time, and she was really into the first season, and she's like, please, let's watch this together. Like it'll be such a good like roommate bonding experience.
Sorry, guys.
There goes the phone, and I was like, all right, we'll watch it. Watch the last couple episodes, and it's very addicting because it's just so easy to watch, and it's just stupid and
Which
funny.
we will get into later.
Yeah. And the commercial hit, and it was like we were watching the finale, and it's like, do you have what it takes to be on the next season of Are You the One? Apply online, mtv.com/casting/Are You the One.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Jeez,
in case you guys want to apply. Anyway, so she looks at me, and she's like, you have to apply. And I was like, I absolutely don't. I do not. And she was like, no, you do. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and which is a perfect time to go on a dating show. Yeah.
Super vulnerable. Super,
Yep.
So ready.
Good. Ready for it. And anyway, so I went on. We applied together actually, and she's married and has a baby now. So, but anyway, unnecessary stuff is what I talk about. But anyway, that is super necessary. Happy for her. Anyway, so she's the reason why I went on the show, and I ended up coming down the stairs the next morning. I'm like, hey, did you get an email from MTV? And she's like, no. And she has this big smile on her face. I'm like, oh God. And then the casting process was like 2 months long, and it was pretty intense. I mean, we had to fill out like.
I was gonna say that's definitely a difference in ours. Is she like got through much more of the casting process very quickly. I had these like long. I was like, I tell it, and I'm like, oh, there was like 3 months between contact, and then they would hit me up and be like, hey, it's so and so from, and I was like, it's an 818 number, so which is an LA area code. I was like, oh, this must be so and so, and I would pick it up, and they're like, hey, I know it's been a while, but are you still interested? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I applied, but like the way she described it, she's like, I knew I was going in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, it was like 3 months of like, they called me like 10 days before we were leaving. They're like, yep, you made it. That's it. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was a sub, like 1,000%.
No, don't say that.
I don't.
Well, even if you were, I'm glad that you were a sub.
I'm like,
we were happy.
It was rad.
Yeah,
to be that sub.
So, then you have to. It's the whole thing. It's pretty much what you would expect. Like it's everything you remember hearing about in the real world tapes and all that. So. I did a phone interview, then a Skype interview, then I had to make a video of myself, which is so cringeworthy, and I'll have to show you guys sometime. I do have it.
Jeez.
Can we post it on our
I'll
Instagram?
send you a clip, maybe.
Okay.
Even just a
just a little peek back into my early 20s.
Hi guys, my name is Jumping Jenni, and I'm from Minnesota.
I was wearing a bikini.
Yeah, that's when I fell in love.
I was on a snow mound behind my condo, and I had a winter hat on, fluffy boots, and I was drinking a bottle of tequila. I'm sorry, I do that now. Whiskey.
Yes. We've changed.
I have grown up. I have grown up to tequila. Less hangover. Well, is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so then you. But during that period of time, they send you like 150 short answer questions.
It's like the SATs of dating.
And I remember filling them out and like falling asleep with my computer on my lap like I was in nursing school again. I mean, and they're not, and you can't just do like a one, short answer. They're long answer questions. And it's like, how do you handle conflict and why?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I
And you're
can't
like,
even.
I
I
don't
don't even
know.
want
It
to think about
depends.
doing
Let me
that.
tell you, what's the conflict? Who's there? Guys or girls? What do you know? So anyway, it was pretty intense casting process. And then, yeah, they flew me out to LA for 24 hours. And, it was weird. They have you in this, the guys are in a separate hotel. The girls are in a separate hotel, and you can't be in the hallway or see any other cast member. So when you're in your hotel, and it's like just your average business hotel, you know,
Yeah.
you're locked in your room the whole time.
Yeah.
And
That is-
they bring you food, and it's like a Caesar salad that's like, it's terrible. It's like a side Caesar salad.
Yummy.
And you're like, okay, here we go, pre-show diet. But anyway, so then they come and knock on the door, or they'll call your hotel room and say, hey, we're going to come get you to talk to the psychologist, or we're going to come get you to do the IQ test. Or, you know, they'll say, hey, we're going to come get you in an hour. Be ready, be camera ready. We're going to do an interview.
Exhausting. This
Yeah.
sounds exhausting.
So
So if
honestly.
you haven't watched this Are You the One on Netflix? So the reason why they're doing all this is because they have what like 10 girls, 10 guys? What's
Yep.
the numbers?
Yep.
10 girls,
Yeah,
10 guys.
For our season, it was 10 guys, 11 girls.
It was
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
There
was
It was
that-
terrible.
I remember that.
If this would have happened, if that show
Would
would
not
have happened
fly
now,
now.
it would have never gone down. I mean,
No.
that they got a ton of hate for the 11th girl.
Yeah.
Because there was one girl that
Brutal.
was left out
I know, I
of
was gonna
every
say, you
challenge,
left
every
her
match.
hanging.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was
That's so
awful.
It was,
wrong.
dude, it was like always
It was
having the situation
disgusting.
of who's getting picked last. And it was,
Sad.
It
but
was,
it was
gym
never-
class all
I was
over
gonna
for
say-
that
it was
girl.
never a guy. Even when we picked, it was not a guy. It was like always there's somebody there just standing out on the island.
And it
That was tough.
it was awful. I mean, they didn't do that again, obviously, because they got lit up for it. But I can't even believe that happened. But we can get to that later.
Well,
but anyway,
back to the test. The
back
reason
to the test.
why.
So I did an IQ test. I did sat with a matchmaker, and then they came to my room and said, hey, we're gonna they dropped me back off at my room. They would literally, with their like little mics, they'd be like, all right, we've got Jenni in the hallway, all clear, Jenni's
is
in the
so
hallway.
dramatic.
I
Yeah.
know everything. But like Curtis said, it's a production.
For sure. And I think there's some part of that I mean, it's just a theory that I have, but it's like partially like mentally priming you. Like they're shut. They're
100%.
like they're getting you used to like, hey, you are on when we tell you you're on, but when you're not on, you're just by yourself. And like, good luck.
Well, I want to. Can we jump? Because to
Yeah.
the show. Because now I want to land you.
Oh yeah.
Now you're
Sorry.
here. No.
I get lanky.
No, I wanted to.
lanky.
Lanky. You're lanky and lanky.
I'm a lanky gal.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want to know now. Now you show up to the show. You're phoneless, correct? You're in the middle of Costa Rica, I believe.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Shout out Puerto Rico.
Shout out Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So
What now?
well, it's so crazy. They gave him 10 days notice. They gave me a
Tell
couple
me what now?
weeks notice. You pack your bags. They actually gave us, I think you would want to know this. They gave us like $1,000. They sent us a check that was $1,000 before we left for the show. And they told us it was basically because when we're on the show, we're completely off the grid. It's to like pay your phone bill in advance, pay your rent, even though that doesn't cover anything. So basically everybody just went shopping.
Yeah. I just bought clothes.
We just bought clothes.
Like
Yeah.
I've got to flex.
Yeah. I gotta look good.
Yeah.
I gotta look hot.
Because what I have right now is just not going to work for this.
You did look good.
I know.
looked good.
I was trying my hardest.
Yeah. Anyway, so we land in Puerto Rico, and same kind of thing. You're put into this hotel room. We stayed at a big resort in San Juan, and we all had like a little villa that was probably around the size of this, like a average room and bathroom, whatever.
Yeah.
And we were there for 3 days before filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which same
breakfast,
thing, you're
lunch,
cut
dinner they sent us breakfast, lunch, and dinner to our room. We ate in our rooms by ourselves. The second day is when we had to give up our computer, cell phone, everything.
And they come and do the bag check where they like
yeah.
they're like, you can't have any brands, like
No Nike
like they'll pull.
logos,
I had
nothing.
like some high school. This is a very like safety blanket thing, but I had like some high school lacrosse shorts, and they're like, we're not sure you can wear these. Like this,
And you're
I
like,
was like, oh, that was gonna be my ultimate flex.
I'm so cool. I played lacrosse.
Oh, I just love that lacrosse team.
Yeah. And I mean, there was actually I had a Winona State running shorts, and they were like, ooh, and I was like, Winona State.
Really? Is that going to be an issue?
Is that a problem? You're gonna have to pay
Huge
them money.
issue.
You're gonna have to pay Winona State some money if I wear these.
They're going to be
Honestly,
on
maybe
their
that's
knees
good.
saying,
Yeah.
thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
And anyway, so and then there was one sleep shirt that I had that was like a volunteer thing that my grandparents did in Buffalo, New York in 99 or 97, something like that. And they were like, well, you can wear it, but just wear it inside out.
Inside out, yeah.
And I was like, Adu Kampu. It literally has a cow on it. It's so bizarre. It's like my same thing,
yeah.
safety blanket.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to feel good. Homey. Yeah. And I brought my own pillow. I was the only one, by the way.
I brought like a sketchbook, and which now makes sense to me. I'm like, yeah, duh. You don't just
can't
want some
have
dude just sitting
anything.
in your house like drawing.
Yeah.
That'll be so fun
It
for
was
people
crazy.
to
In the
watch.
corner.
Where's
No,
Curtis?
you can't have-
Episode 3. He's still at the table working on this masterpiece.
Okay. There was a little snippet that you guys told me that just shocked me because you're there. You're in the house. You just got there.
Oh yeah.
I believe the story goes, now that you guys are actually legally able to talk about these things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Booze started rolling
For sure.
and then.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So we get to the house. This is interesting.
And even the way that we get to the house, the girls arrived first and on like a bus together,
which we arrived on 6 different times because actually
Yeah.
you have to get out of the car, act excited to walk into this mansion.
Stop.
And then they're like, actually, more excitement, girls. Get back into the car.
Go back, reshoot it.
We
It's
redid
an
it
hour
like
process.
6 times.
Yeah.
And they were like, more excitement. We're like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
And they were like,
Same for the
Jenni,
guys.
more from you. The girl from Minnesota, come on, give us some. And I was like, woo!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the girls are all there first, and like the guys have to go through the exact same process. I don't
And the
know.
girls are watching them.
So they're like starting to like
We're
make
like,
noise from the
"Ooh,
house.
Who's that guy? Who's
And
that
we're
guy?
like,
mine.
Yeah. So again,
Also mine.
it's like this interesting like dynamic of like freezing you from contact and like them drawing these walls of like it happens when we say it happens, right? Like even just that process of like it's not just walking into the house and like genuinely meeting something. It's like, okay, I've been doing this for 45 minutes. I just want to get in here now. Excited to see you guys, but like I'm just glad that's over. So it's just really
when they don't cut you and they just let you go into the house, then you're like even
Yeah,
more
it's on.
amped up.
You're
Like they're priming you,
Yeah.
right?
It's like totally control thing.
It's a control thing for sure. Yeah. So when we get into the house, and I mean, Curtis, you have the better story here. When you saw,
oh yeah.
Mwah.
So okay, so to spin back about the process that we go through, we all uploaded YouTube videos that like you could keep private or make password protected. So when I uploaded mine, of course, I'm going to do a search and see who I'm about to walk into.
casting tape?
And I for sure saw there was multiple people that I saw, and Jenni's was one of the videos. And I promise you, there's my best friend will tell you he was sitting right behind me. I was at my desk and we watched her videos, and I was like, if that girl's there, she's going to be my girlfriend, 100%.
I got chills on my arm.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so cheesy.
I was
Goosebumps.
I was so fired up.
Curtis.
So then,
It's cute.
I
know.
So then we walk in, and I'm like a stress case. So like we were talking about, I was like, my style, I when I was dating, like I don't open. I'm not the guy that just like is gonna arrive and be like, nothing out of thin air. Let's have a conversation, right? So I'm like, we walk in and I see Jenni there, and I'm like full panic mode and just cut right.
Yep.
And go straight to the bar, and I'm like, okay,
She's there. She's there.
yeah, I'm like,
she's
just
there.
keep it cool, man. It's just keep it cool. Pour yourself some of this punch. Everything's normal. You're just in a house.
the booze, you guys.
Yeah,
it's
was
like
fully stocked.
booze. Every single kind of booze you can imagine was on like top shelf, medium, all of it. All of
Everything,
the shelves were there. Yep.
Yeah.
And and right away they're like, hey, in the background, like there's these big cameras, and in the background they're like, there's people with mics, there's the booms above you, the big fuzzy things, and if you've never been exposed to this, you're like, oh my god, what's happening? Even like these headphones and microphones are kind of weird for me because we've never been on a podcast, but yeah, you're overwhelmed and you kind of are acting a little weird and like shy. For me, I was like kind of shy
weird.
about it. It's bizarre, but then you're like, okay, liquid courage.
Oh yeah, toss it back.
And
Yep.
again, on the heels of like you've been isolated for 3 days.
3 days,
Like
and
you've been
nonstop
having
thinking.
meals brought to you. The only time that you talk to people is when like again, when you're doing your pre-show stuff and they're like, so why are you here? Blah, blah, blah. So every time that you get human contact at this point, you're like, please just don't put me back in the room. Like, I just want to be
It's like
here.
putting a dog back in their kennel.
Yeah.
You're like, please don't put me back in there.
The control level they have is
Such a-
weird
Right,
to
yeah.
me. But
Right.
the manipulation, I think, is worse.
This is all
because that's what I'm dying to know. Because
Okay.
I've made,
Sorry, we'll get
no,
past
I've made you guys stay quiet though, even hanging out with
Yeah.
you guys.
Oh, she's like, don't tell me
I'm like,
anything. Don't tell me anything. Yeah.
And I know even like the time that you said they made you the first night they made you drink,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, sorry, party's over."
They cut us off
Yeah.
at one point, and then they're like, all right, guys, everybody come on inside, come in the living room. And we all sat down. And this is actually the first time I noticed Curtis, but I mean, not that I didn't notice you, but the first time
It's
I kind of
okay.
was
I was
like, who's
playing
that
it
guy
cool.
with the eyes? But anyway, so then they actually start passing out all this paperwork. I mean, this is 3 or 4, maybe 5 drinks in at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you
At
drunk
least.
trying to?
100%,
Oh,
dude.
no,
You get
you're-
I mean, you're so excited and
Everything's
craving
firing.
that social interaction. You're so excited for this experience to start, and then you sit down, and then they hand you this legal paperwork, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And,
It's like a release
I mean,
form.
seriously, like front and back stuff. And at this point, we had already signed a contract, like a 45-page contract that a family friend of ours who's a lawyer read through it for me and was like, don't go on the show, please.
Yeah, like you're signing your life away. For
You're
sure.
signing your life away. But
5
anyway,
years, right?
Yeah.
yeah. And so anyway, we're sitting down. They pass out of this legal jargon, and we're all like, okay, what's this? And they're like, just sign it.
The fact that they lay that down after you guys were drinking
Purposely
is so
drunk.
fucked
Yeah,
up.
you ready for this too?
We're not sure if that's legal.
They're also cutting
think
you
so.
off from, like, we're all in this room together. Again, another flex. They're like, all right, so here's you guys. This is a rule that we have. It's called hard ice. The second we say hard ice, nobody talks.
Because cameras are off
Yeah.
and mics are off.
So we're all in this room, like we're sitting here, and cannot have and I'm like, we're making like comments
Hard ice.
aloud,
Yes, and you're like,
Hard ice.
and then you
Exact-
have you
100 it's- and then-
have your
and
mic on, so you start to try, like
you're like whispering. You're like, hey,
yeah.
so
yeah,
are
yeah.
you sure we should be signing this
we-
right now? And the other person's like, no. And they're like, Jenni Curtis, hard ice.
Like from
You're
across,
like-
it'll be a producer from across the room that's like, I hear you, and you're like,
We can hear you.
No,
you
you
have
can't.
mics on. We
Yeah,
can hear
yeah.
you. And you're like, okay.
You're
all
like
right.
like animals,
kindergartners?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Kindergartners,
weird. Yeah,
yeah.
kindergartners. Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah. And then we had one of the guys on the show, John, who's like, still good friends with him. He's rad. Was in law school at the time, and so
We're
and
like-
I'm drunk enough to like be like, I don't care about your rules. So I'm like shouting. I'm like, Johnny, what are we signing here? And he's like,
Looks like
didn't
just
he
some.
fart to break the silence?
It was something he always
great.
did.
He was so
He
good
was
at
phenomenal.
like when
He
we're
was
in hard
great.
ice, he was the best at just farting.
Just
it was
on
fantastic.
command, and everybody cracked up.
It was so
I mean,
funny.
it was good. It was good.
Yeah,
we
so-
had so many good moments like that. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, it was a little bizarre that we had to sign that right off the bat.
And I asked, I was like, what happens if we don't sign this? And like, we have a replacement for you. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
The
cool.
threats.
Yeah.
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 The threats, literally the threats.
Did you ever find out what you signed that night?
No,
No.
But
sure.
you
Not
were
sure.
restricted from something, right? You guys could not talk about the show publicly, or
that
what was it?
That was already,
Yeah, that was
in
already
the
signed.
other agreement. I'm not sure if this was just a couple addendums that they had forgotten about in the other one, that there were updates or something. I'm not really sure, but I don't really remember.
But
I
up
gotta
until this
say,
point, I
like-
mean, you couldn't talk about the show, right? Like with the behind the scenes of the show.
Yeah. We
Oh,
had
yeah,
an
no.
NDA. Yeah. We had to sign an NDA before and after.
5 years though.
for
That's a
5
long
years.
time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a long time. So this
That's a long
was
ass
and this
time.
show was a long time ago. So I kind of want like people to remember that too. That like the show was in 2014.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was 20. I was like a brand new 23-year-old, and like I just
So little.
I was such
So
a little
brand new.
baby.
Says Sid.
I know.
She's
I'm
23.
24.
Yeah.
I
No,
know, but you are so light years ahead of how in your maturity than I was. I
appreciate
had no
that.
spine. I had I was still growing that.
I get it. Well,
I think we all are.
I mean, yeah, we all are working on
It's
it.
true.
I know that you guys had amazing moments on the show.
Yeah.
I want to get into the matching piece because that's
Okay.
goes into your relationship.
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
first, what can I ask you? What do they not want us to know about the show? Like, is it actually real? Like, what is it actually like being on this shit? Because we don't fucking know. We have no idea.
Okay, so the best way that I try and like get people to understand it is like, and anytime somebody asks that question, I'm like, okay, I'll look around. Imagine us being put in this room We can't leave. You have no contact with the outside world.
I mean,
you have plenty of alcohol. So that's the level of like, yes, it is real. Because at certain points, we're going to start to be removed from like, you can only talk about where you're from or things back home so much. And then we're all just like, however many days in, when it's just us and nothing else, like you're just going to start to build your own world in there. And like, this becomes the only thing that we know.
It becomes your new reality.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone is so dramatic on these shows. It's because
100%.
it's your world.
And you think, and everyone else is reacting dramatically too, because it's a world we all share and we're in together, and there's only so many of us. I mean, there were arguments over bacon.
Yeah.
Like serious
Sure.
arguments that were never shown, where I thought shit was going down. Like I thought people were going to be punched, and like they were just.
Didn't they set you guys up with like, oh, so and so talk shit about you, and then put you on camera, like, or something weird?
So actually, I kind of want to talk about like the structure of the show too, so that people might understand a little bit better of like how reality television works. Like every week is, it's like last week on The Bachelor or last week on Are You the One? It was actually 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So our weeks are not 7 days.
They're 3 days.
They're 3 days. And so the first day, you're like, I forgot the structure.
So the first day we do a challenge.
Challenge.
To go on a date.
Yeah. And then the winners of that challenge go on the date the next day, and the house stays at home and votes on which
of those couples,
which of the winning couples they want to put into the truth booth
to see, are they a match or are they not a match?
And it's the only set in stone reason, or set in stone
concrete way to understand, or like be told those two people are a match
or are not a match.
Yeah.
And it's a super valuable tool. Again, it sounds like so stupid, truth booth and valuable tool. I mean, but again, this is the kind of language and kind of that they instill in you to think like, oh, this is super important. Like we gotta really, and I mean, $1 million is on the line. So that's the other thing too. You just left your whole life, and you're like, you popped, and left, and you're like, okay, I really do want to get this money. So some people are extra serious. Other people are like, experience of a lifetime, whatever, just want to get drunk. And so there's so many dynamics.
Yeah. Some people are there to get famous, which that was like a huge,
hilarious.
Coming from California, I was just like, this isn't for your portfolio. This isn't going to do it.
This won't help your mom.
And the third day?
Third day is a matchup ceremony, which basically is all of those cutaway interviews that you see where we're describing a situation in real time are not in real time. They are a recollection.
So the third day until it's dark, we're doing interview. So
2 hours.
And in the morning, you wake up and everyone runs to the fridge and says, and there's a list, and it says like,
what your time slot is to get interviewed.
Jenni's the third person to get interviewed at 10:30, so you have to be camera ready.
Yeah.
So if you woke up at 9, you got to be camera ready in an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they talk about the last 3 days.
Yep.
And they bring up questions, and this is where reality TV is not scripted, but it is like
pointed.
It is pointed,
like
directed,
produced,
and a little produced, and a little bit manipulated, and how they word their questions. I mean, these guys are professional.
The producers are definitely like 90% have to be psych majors. Yeah. Like they all know or like writers, they all know exactly what they're asking you to get you to arrive at the phrase that they need for their soundbite for your moment. And like,
it's crazy to
right? Like you had it happened. That's how you felt. But then they're building their own narration of it behind the scenes that they're like, okay, we need him to say this about it.
Yeah. So it's interesting. They actually call those people that interview you, they're on the story team. The story team. So they're actually creating their own story and narrative for you.
Yeah.
That's
freaking weird.
They already had a narrative and a story that they were expecting or wanted from me before I even got on the show.
Yeah.
They casted me for
you are a character.
You're a character. Yeah.
So back to the truth booth. So did you two ever get sent in to confirm or deny that you two were a couple?
No.
I wish we had, honestly.
And why not?
Well, right off the bat, we had a connection really, really quick.
I was still trying to play it cool, but then I kind of that went out the window in like the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
When we had the opportunity to compete for the first date, was like, oh, this is my chance. So I stood next to her. Like basically we all got lined up in the house.
Yeah.
And then I was like purposely like, where do I have to be in line? Like guys were on one side and girls on another. So I was like, where do I have to be in line to like get next to her? And I put myself there.
But we were both already going towards each other. Like I know I was specifically going towards you and hoping that another guy didn't grab me first. Like I was.
Did another guy or what happened?
No.
No, I think there was
there was guys that said that they were like
we were
trying to get there, but I'm like, snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
But we had really, the other thing is like we had big conversations on the first night
that are not shown.
Yeah, that nobody knows about.
They didn't show our little love story
because you weren't part of their story.
It wasn't. That's not who they wanted us.
They weren't building that. They were building.
They weren't
else.
expecting that, and I don't think that they wanted it to happen. It was really weird. So
then we competed together,
right? And we didn't win because we didn't cheat on the challenge, and everyone else cheated.
I furiously did dishes for 2 hours afterwards. I like went inside and was like, fuck, that was my chance, man. Like,
yeah.
So you went inside and did dishes?
She walked in and like offered to help, and I was like, I'm good. I'm so
God.
good right now. And
like
it's
I'm
like
punishing myself.
Yeah, imagine doing dishes for 21 people. I'm just it's like whole sink. I'm like, I'm just gonna crush all my demons right here in this sink.
Yeah.
Get mad.
Yeah.
Get mad at those bubbles.
So then
God
after that, I kind of like, all bets were off, and I was like, I was drinking on the day that the rest of the people were out on that first challenge. On the date, we ended up in the pool, and I was like, all right, here's how I'm going to play this. Like, I only want to date you, and like, I'm not going to be involved with anybody else. Like, while I'm pursuing you, I want to know if that's going to be the same from you. And she's like, I don't think they would match us together. I'm really just here to have fun at this point.
And
I was like,
hang on.
Holy shit.
Hang on.
World's crumbling.
He loves telling the story. He loves it.
She rejected me.
Did they air this part?
Nope. But you
I was
can
gonna say,
see,
I don't
actually,
think
you
I
can
saw-
see in the first episode, you can see him and I talking in the background in the hot tub. So we're in the hot tub, day drinking. Okay. This is like, yeah. I mean, and I think we fell asleep holding hands together the very first night. And I remember specifically having in my interviews talking about Curtis, and they were like, and I remember being like, I don't really understand. I remember saying, I don't really understand our connection. It's just like was really intense right away. And I don't really know what to do with that because I've never felt that ever before.
Science.
No. Anyway, so we're day drinking in the hot tub, and he comes up to me. What I remember is him being like, hey, I just want to be your girlfriend. I just want you.
That's honestly probably the truest representation. I just
you're drunk.
Wait. Let me start it.
Let me start over. Yeah. Actually, I mean, he made it seem like he was so calculated, and I
so
remember him
dialed.
being like, I just want you and no one else, and like, let's just be together.
Yeah.
Like, forget the money, forget the show. Let's just be you and me. And I was like,
this is my girlfriend. I already decided.
And I was like, the drama.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, I mean, in the sweetest way. I was
Yeah.
like,
So
okay.
then she rejects me. I proceed to go on an even longer bender.
I remember being like, I actually don't think that they were smart enough to see the connection that would happen between you and I.
So you Minnesota nice rejected me.
100%.
Still rejected me.
Yeah.
And
well,
I
whatever.
went on a bender, and then there's confessional footage of me being like, I don't know. She was supposed to be my girlfriend, so I was like, had a full meltdown of like, there it was. There went my chance. Whatever.
I thought we made out that night. This sounds like me.
Oh, we may have. Yeah, you were messing with
sounds like
my
you're like,
head.
no,
You
get
were
away
messing
from
with
me.
my head.
Come on in.
Exactly.
Sounds like me.
Oh, you seem sad. Here, come here. Let me. Yeah.
Let me
get
lick
away.
you.
Yeah. Let me make it better.
It's so telling of the times because we actually, the first time we made out, and we sparked a conversation because I brought like a floral flat-billed hat because that was like really cool at the time. So
The
stupid.
2014.
Yeah,
2014. What's up?
Thriving.
So cool. And he had one too. Mine was like pink and his was like red. And we like
Yeah,
we
mine
like
was a real one.
we like swiveled them to the side and just like made out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The matching hats.
Swivel
thing
them
was-
to the side.
Yeah.
We did so that like we didn't hit because at first we were like you know.
Swiveled it.
And then we were like,
you're both like sideways hatting.
Yeah,
Like,
so bad. So
dumb.
again, this all happened
And this is on foot. They have
in
footage of this.
3 days. Like we just went on this whole journey with each other in 3
Yeah.
days. And then, I mean, I had to cut it off. You could still do whatever you wanted. You were clearly in the driver's seat. So
I mean, and then I kind of I was trying to win this money. Like
Same.
I
You
was
had a different
legit,
intention there.
Yeah,
I feel like.
was legit like, yo, I'm a nurse. Like I just somehow my manager at the time was like super obsessed with reality television and was like jumping up and down in her seat and like wanted me. We figured out a way to go on the show and then still have me come back to my job. It was amazing. And
People love reality TV.
Yeah,
I was at
and,
an engineering firm and they were like, "You're good to go, buddy." I was
yeah, like people
"What's
were
wrong?"
really supportive of like
Yeah.
they were like, do it, this is once in a lifetime. And anyway, so I was actually like, man, if I go home empty handed, like that's like 6 weeks of work that I'm actively losing money if I do not win. And I was like, okay, I really didn't think that they did that. I don't think that they matched us. And I was right, but I did start to go in a different direction. I thought that like the first couple of days I was like kind of frustrated that maybe they had put me with Leighton because he was this super tall like football country guy, and here's this blonde girl from Minnesota, and I was like, oh god, I could totally see them doing this and this all-American couple, and that wasn't the match either. So, but anyway, it was hard to navigate and like try and figure out if you're going to really take the game seriously or you're going to pick, or you could go the route which you guys have seen where couples just stay together on the show and screw everybody else, or you're going to try and win the money. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
So, but you guys, you didn't end up together, obviously, and you
No.
went on
No.
another like show after the show or something like that, right? Or where did you? How
Oh.
did you guys get together?
Oh no, we
Well, we had different love interests on the show.
yeah.
And we each kind of tried to see if that would work out, like following the show, and they both kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
within, like, a
Meanwhile,
week
I
or
was
two.
like playing the long game with Jenni. I was like, okay, we can be friends.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Until
knew.
I was like still super attracted to her, and I was like, I'm not gonna let this die. Like I got a chance.
Curtis, I love
Yeah.
this.
So
And
I
I
was
was
like-
oblivious.
I was
literally
Jenni,
oblivious.
you're like
I was
over
just
here,
like, oh, this guy just wants to hear my hookup stories, I guess.
Yeah. And I
like
like
we
obviously-
talked every single day that whole summer. I mean, he called me every day.
That
and
was actually-
FaceTimed me and all this stuff.
That was actually probably a big foundational piece. Is like we were both in the space where we were telling each other those like stories and seeking kind of like the other side's perspective on like what we were both going through. So
Yeah.
that made it super comfortable. But I was like still, I was like, I'm trying to date you. So,
You
Right,
knew.
Yeah.
right. And then I just, we developed, I realized I was like, wow, I actually like look forward to him calling, and like we started texting all the time. And then I like wanted to go out and see him, but then
All part of the plan.
you technically can't see the people from your show because they don't want you to see each other until the show airs. They don't want anyone to recognize that there's two cast members hanging out together because at this
Oh.
point we had
I forgot
filmed.
about this part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
we
it hadn't aired.
filmed in June and July.
June, July.
And then it didn't air until October.
Yeah.
So between that time, technically, you are not allowed. It's like the same with
With
Bachelor.
Bachelor,
You know, when they are like they have
The
have
Don't
to
be seen.
hide.
Yeah.
That in between time, like you can't be seen with that person, or other people will
Which is weird.
come to conclusions.
This is a good segue into like the post show feels and
Yeah.
like what happened
Oh.
post show. So
It's dark.
yeah, so we kind of alluded to this a little bit before
Yeah.
the podcast, and we're like, don't get any deeper. Like we want to hear about it. So
Yeah.
can we dive into that a little bit and like what happened after the show?
Well, I feel like we need to. I feel like I should wrap up the
Yeah, there's-
how we started
Okay.
a little bit, just so then the
But so-
the reunion episode was scheduled
But to be shot in November.
in LA.
Yeah.
And then I booked, so they booked all my flights to LA and everything. And then they said, well, do you want to fly out of LA when on your way back? And I was like, well, can I change it to San Diego? Like I had ulterior plans. And then I was like, and they were like, yeah,
Sneaky.
sure. We can just book you from San Diego back to Minneapolis. And I was like, awesome. And then I kind of talked to him about it. I was like, I think you I'm guessing you probably invited.
I definitely invited you.
Yeah. He was like, hey, you want to come? We'll just drive right back down to San Diego and then hang out for a couple of days and then I'll fly back. And then, at the reunion, we're all partying like night before or night after or whatever in LA. And then we went back down to San Diego and just banged it out, you know?
Yeah. Well,
banged it out.
Okay. That's.
Sorry.
It was
I mean,
a-
we banged
like
it out.
literally
Anyway.
banged.
Anyway,
It
just
was a
had
nice
yeah, it
time.
was a good
So
time.
literally banged it
Curtis
out.
Yeah,
was like,
it
it was
was
very
a-
romantic and it was beautiful.
It was.
Jenni's
And
like,
romantic,
we banged
and
it out,
we
man.
were blackout drunk and had sex.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
and
folks.
then our relationship began.
And you guys are engaged right now.
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So look at that.
Look at that.
Show literally
just-
brought you something, but separate.
Yeah.
What
I
were
was
you
just
gonna
gonna say, I just creeped on Jenni's Instagram before this to try to find like a cute picture of them
Yeah.
to post on her story,
There's
and
like 9 million.
I couldn't pick one, which is why I panicked and which is why there's no post yet, because I was like, these are so cute. You guys are adorable.
Thank you.
Thanks,
fucking
man.
photogenic as hell.
Oh my
I literally am
God.
so awkward.
Yeah.
Even on the camera when I watch this, I'm like ew, no.
Well,
okay.
I'm sitting on an awkward stool right now, and let me just tell you, I keep like
You're doing good.
fidgeting.
You're-
Thanks, guys.
No, honestly, you
Yeah,
look
seem-
good. And your
you
legs
seem-
are
you make
tan.
look
It looks great.
comfortable.
appreciate it,
But
guys.
take us to this
Yeah.
after the
Oh
show.
yeah, so it's
Because-
interesting because that's like us getting together. That time is like kind of the beginning of it getting better because we were starting to date each
But
other.
also worse for me.
Yeah, so it was like also she had a different experience than me. My experience was like basically coming out of it, same thing, you're on this emotional roller coaster. You've just had this experience with like these 20 other people that only you guys can talk about, and like you can't talk about it to anybody else. You've signed all this paperwork that says don't tell anybody, don't say a thing. So then you're still kind of in this space of like confiding in those people only.
Like
So
a very strong
and even
bond.
at a distance, right? Like we're
Yeah.
all in different parts of the country, and like you're like texting someone like, "Hey man, what's up?" Just because you're like, I want to talk to somebody that knows what I went through. So then it gets weird when they start to like release stuff publicly that like you're going to be on the show, right? That's when things like actually
That got
start to
weird.
shift. Like people that you
It was
knew from like way back that randomly are like, no way, like
it
saw,
was
and you're like,
the
whoa.
very first commercial that was aired was on MTV Music Awards, which I mean people still like tuned into that stuff, and it was a 20-second clip of just this, and you saw your face and you saw
Yeah.
your and it was mind blowing.
That's weird.
And then immediately your phone is just going nuts. People from high school, college, family members are like, I'm pretty sure I just saw you
Yeah.
on a commercial for a reality show. Is that you? Am I crazy? Am I losing it? And I'm like, no, that's correct.
Yeah, and it picks
Tune
up.
in October 2nd. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's like at
They
that
like
point.
plugged it.
Yeah, for sure.
They had us so brainwashed that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
literally all we could do. We
You're
were
like,
basically
here it
like,
goes.
here.
Well, and like kind of coming out of it, they make it very clear. Like, I remember like asking producers, like, so what do we do now? Like, what is like, how can this really benefit me? Like, is there any validity to like the scale that this show is on, or like the kind of social clout that I will get? And they were like, well, there's definitely been people who have made it work for them. Like they keep it very vague, like do with it what you want. But I think it's like a very like safety measure for them that they're like, we're not going to make any promises, but life happens. So then like you're kind of again primed to like, well, it could be this thing. Like, and we all have like, you see what happens to people that go on reality TV, and you're like, how did you end up with a clothing brand? You're like, you were just on this reality television
You
show.
just played yourself.
Literally, what the hell?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they filmed you drunk.
So
But anyway.
yeah, so that in between time is weird because again, you're kind of put back into this
And
spot
you're-
of like you've had this crazy experience that you just want people to like to be able to share with your close family and the people that like you confide in, but they can't
can't.
get it. Like and even when you tell them and you're like, oh, I'm kind of breaking the rules, it's really, really like it's really hard to understand. And like people from the outside that haven't gone through it, they see it as like what is on TV, right? So you're not seeing any of the like the control side of it, or like so
Being locked in that room by yourself.
that was like the weird thing for me was telling that story to people and then like kind of watching them be like, whoa, this got a little darker than I planned. Like, just tell me about how awesome it is, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's a party, right?
And he's
it's
like, no, I'm pretty sure we were all manipulated,
Yeah.
and it's very, and everyone's like, well, oh, God, so did you have
Yeah.
fun at least? And you're like, oh, no, we.
I appreciate it, yeah, for an experience.
Yeah. So before it aired, between like the first commercial and then there's more commercials and previews and all these things, the Instagram starts and you start getting these screenshots and posts and you're like, my anxiety just started right about then. Cause I just thought, man, so much happened on that show, and you're being filmed 24 hours a day, but there's only 10 television hours that they're going to show from that. And so that's like, not even 10% of the actual things that happen. And you're like, what story are they going to choose for me? What clips are they going to show? Are they going to show the most embarrassing stuff? Of course. They're going to pick like the most dramatic and stupid and drunk moments and everything, because and then that's really when my anxiety and a little bit of that just started to kick in, really. And that's sort of when it kind of got a little dark for me.
I feel like the first time you see an experience that you had depicted and the like image of it is different than what you remember feeling, that is a trip.
That messes with you.
You're like, that wasn't that moment, and that's not how that felt. And that soundbite they're using is from like 2 weeks later when they re-asked me about that, and it's like, that is weird to see.
Or that's a soundbite from when the show didn't even start yet. That's my pre-interview. You know, when they take a soundbite or a clip or this and that, and they edit and paste and copy and, you know, whatever. And I'm like, wait, I'm not actually even talking about that girl or that guy. I'm talking about this person or that person. And then you're like, wow, they can really just do whatever they want.
That's what you signed when you were drunk.
Yeah.
That's what we signed.
And it is honestly on the production side, it's impressive to be able to like mold this thing of like, we are really all just hanging out for 5 weeks, like just drinking and talking. Like for them to get these like really intense
elaborate
arcs,
stories.
It is like, it's impressive.
It's impressive. Yeah.
Did it change your mind on film and production after being on that? Where you're like, I don't know if this is what I want to do anymore.
It was super interesting. It was like, wow, it's that hard to do it at that level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because reality TV seems like so raw and like a run and gun setting. And it's like the guys that shoot that are all like career guys, and they're all so good. So like that became one of my like favorite things to do is like, can I make a cameraman laugh? Because those guys are all super ice cold.
Oh my God.
Like right when you
those were the best people.
Yeah.
The crew were
Sick.
That was like one of the best parts about the experience.
Really?
They were cool. They were chill. They've
Awesome.
seen all of it. They've seen everything. And even like the mic guy, like you got really close with the mic
So
guy,
pumped.
because every morning you wake up, you open your eyes, and they're like, get mic'd. Go get mic'd.
You can't talk to anybody.
You're in your robe or your t-shirt and no pants, and you got to go to the mic room, and he's got to put a microphone right in between your boobs and a little piece of tape and says, all right, you're good to go.
Yeah, those guys
and then
are
you gotta
definitely
wear
pros.
you got to wear like the battery pack behind you. And you guys may notice that in some shows the guys
necklace.
are wearing like a necklace, and it's super cheesy and lame.
No, I
Like
bought
a
that.
shark tooth.
There's
on you.
there's a microphone wrapped in it.
I'm surprised.
So when they're shirtless, yeah,
Yes. Wait, so they mic'd you even when you went to the bathroom? If someone was in the
100%.
bathroom, you
Always
obviously
mic'd.
then.
because and the whole time that you're walking upstairs to the mic room, they're like, yes. I was so constipated.
Wait, don't do that. You're
Yeah,
not mic'd
sorry,
yet. You're
sorry,
not mic'd
Andrew.
yet.
Or
you
if-
might have to like do some audio shit to that.
He's like, great.
Like, thanks for
Thank
the
you
fart
so
noise.
much. Fantastic.
Yes. So that's the rule. The rule on mics was basically the second you wake up in the morning to the second you're like, you had to decide, hey, I'm going to bed. I'm going to take my mic off. And if you were going to bed and you took your mic off, you like could not. And somebody
You're done
started
for the night.
Somebody started to talk to you while you were laying down.
You have to say, I'm not mic'd. I'm not mic'd.
A producer would come with a mic and be like, yo, you got to put this back on.
Do they watch you sleep?
100%.
There's a
Oh my
camera
gosh,
on you
you
to
guys,
sleep,
there's no
obviously, right?
this mansion that they gutted and redid was beautifully done, except the ceilings are completely just raw, and there's wires and cameras and microphones and floodlights, like, you know, what are those called?
Like
the-
just
Just lights
big
everywhere.
overhead
Big
tubes that you
lights.
could like change the color of the light, right?
So
Yeah.
they have control over the lights, the sound, the everything.
And the other thing is like when they don't shut the lights off in the house because they're for filming until the last person goes to sleep. So if you're like, it's 10, I'm trying to have a cool one tonight. Like nothing's happening. Like I'm going to go to sleep. You're asleep with bright, it's like
Fluorescent
film
lights.
On. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, all in all, I mean, you've gone the ups, the downs, everything. But
Yeah.
you guys, I mean, technically in the end, you won because you end up together.
You found
Yeah.
love.
Like you found love, but
We found love.
this is
in a hopeless
do you,
place.
Did you
for
guys
real.
win? Like
Yes.
for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
You
actually
won the
won.
game, too.
We won money. Yeah, we actually went home. Well, I mean, you didn't get the money until like the next year.
Yeah,
we
they
didn't
don't-
get money until the following May
Had to make
because of
Well-
all the taxes and this and that, and then it's a whole thing. It really you get a little bit more than 50% of what they say
what
you get.
would get.
Yeah.
It's an annuity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You
figured
could
it
take
would
the
be.
money over 30 years, which would be great. Enjoy your $500 a year. Or
Oh my god.
Or you pay a tax on getting a lump sum,
yeah.
and then they really screw you on that.
So I was gonna say there's got to be something behind that because
Where's
that's a
the catch?
big
Yeah.
That's a
so
big
so
lump
if-
sum of money.
I mean I'm just gonna be straight candid here, you know, and
Ooh,
just tell you how much
Jenni.
I actually how much I actually went home with. So 50,000 would be, you know, so 20. Well, okay,
It was
what's
32.
math?
It was a
$1 million.
It was a
divided by-
$32,000.
Well, I think it's 33-ish,
Yeah.
33-ish. But anyway, they say individually we're all going to get like go home with 50.
Split
50,000?
20 ways.
Yeah. And then after all the taxes and everything, it was 33. And then the next year you got taxed on that money.
Yeah.
So it was an additional like $6,000 after that.
so
too.
you made like 26-ish.
It's,
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Not
It's
saying,
good problems
oh,
to
that's
have.
no money. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
No,
a
but that's a
nice
good
chunk of money,
Yeah.
especially as a 23-year-old, like
Hell
fresh
yeah.
out of college and all that. Just, you know, it just, but
That-
it's just every time that they say $1 million prize, immediately cut that by 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a more serious question. So do you guys think, I guess it's not that serious, but so do you think this whole manipulation is just from Are You the One? Or do you think this is all reality shows? Like what if a listener is like, I want to apply for the Bachelor, or I've been, a casting director has reached out for me for this. I am kind of interested in going on reality TV. Would you go on this show, or would you say don't do it?
Would I
Ooh.
personally re-go on or tell this person to go on? I
And
would.
What
are
would you tell them?
Do I
What would
care
you tell them?
about? Do I care about this person?
Yes.
Yes, like Sophie.
Oh gosh, I mean, because
Okay.
it's such like the experience is so wild and crazy. You'll never go through anything else, and I mean, just the possibility to win money and possibility to meet a best friend, like, or you know, or
You definitely make friends.
Yeah.
And like,
that alone is enough, I would say, to just try it. But I would say to make sure you are mentally sound
Yeah.
before you go on this, and mentally sound afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to seek therapy and have a solid family and friend group around you before anyone does anything like that, because afterwards was really intense, especially with social media, which I know we wanted to talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
The hate comments, the slut shaming, a lot of that stuff that girls, that actually like most of the girls on the show did get. I got heavily, I think a little bit was because of me being from Minnesota, and a lot of my fan base is, or not, that sounds so stupid. Not
You have
fans.
You can say
You
that
have
though.
fans.
You were on
Yeah.
a reality TV
Yeah.
show.
It's
You're allowed
not.
to say
I mean,
it.
but a lot of the people that followed me were from Minnesota, which is a more conservative state. I just felt like, and nobody from Minnesota, not many people go on these shows, and like I wasn't from, you know, a New York City or a California where it's very common. And a lot of people are like, oh, my friend was on a reality show. Oh, my friend was on The Bachelor on the third, you know, like people say, you know, it's more common. And then when I went on from Minnesota, I wasn't prepared for it. Social media was new at that time. I think I went on the show with like 100 followers. And then at that time I had like 50 some followers. Like I felt like overnight, and I didn't know what to do with it. And there wasn't as much known about social media and like the damage and that it can cause mentally, and mental health wasn't as like talked about.
not
And
at all.
so I got it hard. Like I was messed up for like a little bit, and it took me like about a year to actually kind of regroup and
Tune out.
Yeah, like I
Get
mean,
back
it
to
was because
neutral.
I read every single DM, I read every single
God.
comment,
Yeah.
and you can't help it. Like I didn't have enough followers. Oh, you got goosebumps.
We even,
yeah.
and this is no comparison. Like people hate on us on TikTok like nobody's business. I
Of
think it's
course.
a free, like it's an
Yeah.
issue, but it's like I can't imagine on the scale of like an intimate one like Instagram, because that's just,
and they're judging based on just such a fraction of what MTV chose to show about this moment, and that's not actually fully accurate, or like how I saw it, or how someone, it was super painful. Like I cried a lot, and I was drinking heavily, and but luckily that's why I think Curtis and I having a relationship with him and knowing that he went through it as well, and knew who really I was the best thing. And
comforting.
I had a tough time, I guess, but for totally different reasons. Like as a guy in that space, you just don't really get the hate, and like people, I think I just saw it as like I knew what it was, but I don't know. I would say like you will have an experience. Be careful what you wish for, because like I remember being in that interview, that psych eval, and being like, I want an experience. I know it's going to affect me and change me. And I also said, I know that the most, like at the time, I was like, the most important lessons that I think I've learned in life are the hardest ones to learn. This was a very hard one to learn. Not for reasons, it's like you don't know what you don't know, right? So the toughest thing for me was honestly coming back, and when the show started to pick up steam and like getting recognized, that was hard for me, because I at that point was like shown a perspective that I just like you can't fully understand until you go through it. But like somebody comes up to you, some stranger comes up to you on the street, and like they want you to be the 30 seconds of yourself that they saw, and that's not a really enough context to describe you as a human being or where you are at that point. Or
an accurate description, really.
Yeah. So that was always the toughest thing for me, because no matter where I was personally, like, and I definitely took from it, like, I will tell you this, what comes on the backside, the like accessibility to these different experiences, like getting to go out, and like it made alcohol and going out and partying very, very accessible. That's like, if you haven't experienced it, like that seems like a great thing. I will be the first person to tell you that people saying yes to you all the time is not necessarily going to make you a better person. Like you're just constantly in this world of like everybody wants you to be your character for them when they're with you, and you're like, I don't feel like being that right now. Like I'm like, I don't really want to tell you this story again. That was the tough thing, is like I had a tough time managing like, I don't want to be negative to a stranger, because I'm like, hey, I appreciate you, but like you got to know at the core, like that didn't mean anything to me. Like I treated it as like and I kept making toasts every time we would have a chance to party. I would always be like, don't for a second forget that like we are being paid to be on an island and like hang out with friends. Like at the core, that's what I wanted it to be, but it was really hard to like
stay that path,
get back to grounding
post show and try to depict the real
there was a
you.
little there was definitely like and I'm gonna keep going back to social media, because that's actually where I was hurt the most. And I'd post like a picture of my mom and I, and like 6 comments in, whore. I'm like, oh, what the
that's brutal.
Or like slut. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like posting a picture of my mom and I for her birthday or for Mother's Day. And I'm like, this is so, and then
hiding behind their phone and their fake profile.
Yes, 100%. But, and then it was weird getting recognized. And the other weird thing was too, is that people will crawl out of the woodworks that you haven't talked to in ages.
Oh, that was going to be my last question.
Yeah, see, people do.
And they're like, no, we're
question.
friends. And you're like, no, actually you were mean to me, I think. Yeah.
And people do change. Yeah. Not everybody changes. It's not like, oh, everybody I know that's like your real friends are your real friends forever. And like I said, I think it comes back down to like, there's a certain point where you don't necessarily want to hear it, where I was like, oh, I don't like, I'm in this, I'm doing whatever this is. But then there's the kind of reality check that happens where you're like, okay, like at the core, like we're all just still friends. And like, that was just an experience I had. It's not the thing that's forever.
Yeah.
So 1 word answer, would you go on the show again? You don't get to say anything else.
Again? No.
No.
Absolutely not. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we
Sorry.
could, there's so much meat in this. We could have another fucking episode
Dude,
because
I
it's
know.
just like, and I'm like, we don't even get to get
I know,
to the
I
meat of
actually-
your relationship either. Because
It's
I'm
weird.
We
like,
can do it if we want, because I do want to ask you guys a few relationship questions.
Yeah,
Should we
yeah.
quick do the fun little game? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
you
not?
guys go ahead. Let's see
So
what time
Curtis,
it is.
It's quick.
it's
Oh,
quick.
oh, we're
Curtis,
good.
I'm gonna
Okay.
have you take your headphones off,
Oh wow.
and I'm literally gonna have you go walk downstairs and chill
Oh.
outside.
No, just go in my room or
Okay.
something.
I would
And-
say,
or
or you
plug
can
your
chill,
ears.
chill outside. It's nice out. Whatever you prefer.
Chill.
We're
Chill.
playing because I love the dynamic between
Go in my
you
room
two.
because then we can hear you when we come back.
There you go. I love the dynamic between you two, so we're just gonna play a little game.
It's quick.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Is it like Newlywed Game or something?
Yes!
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love that.
So he doesn't get to hear your answers. So I'm gonna pull up my little
Ooh,
questions
I'm
for
like
you.
sweating a little bit.
No, you don't have any.
smell good. Okay.
You don't have to be nervous
I don't have
because
to. It's on him.
it's on him.
Oh,
we
I
test
love
the
this.
honey. We test the guys in this. We
Honey.
got the girls back.
Okay.
So we're gonna ask you questions
Go for it.
about you.
Yeah.
And then see how he answers.
Oh, I
them.
love this.
I think there's literally only 8, so we're gonna
We'll
run
do
through
it
it really
quick.
fast.
Yep.
Favorite junk food?
Favorite drunk food.
No, sorry, junk food.
Oh.
I'm a little.
I know, I'm
just
like
had,
drunk
is
food. I'm
that
like,
the
not
same
gonna
thing,
lie, I just
honestly?
had this seltzer because I was sitting here and I was like, it sounds really good, and I'm a little buzzed right now. So let's do it.
Favorite junk food. Like ordering from a bar or ordering from a restaurant or like what I
drunk food. When you get home, you're drunk. What do you eat?
No, it's not drunk. It's junk.
Oh, what the? I
I
can't
know, I
hear.
know, I know.
I'm like,
Okay, hang on. Gosh.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, how about
Next one.
How about favorite food?
Jenni, come on.
Favorite
I love
food.
everything. Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
I love sandwiches.
Do you
Yeah, you
have?
did bring me Jimmy John's.
I love sandwiches.
Do you have a signature dance move? Curtis, you better not be listening.
Yeah, I dance with my shoulders.
Can we see
Oh my
it?
God, you are literally me. It's kind of scary. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's what I fucking knew.
Okay, guys, I wish you could see that. What is the weirdest gift Curtis has ever given you? Like birthday, Christmas. Weirdest gift. Something that was just a little strange and you're like, oh, thanks, babe.
Is it the gift of nothing? Because that happens. And that's pretty weird
8
for me
years
because I'm
in.
like, hey, thank
like,
you
"Hey,
so much for
babe."
nothing. Just kidding. Thank you for everything. But
Has he
oh
ever
my
given
God.
you like a
guys, I
random
wish
thing?
we would have had these prepared.
Like a shoe
We
or
can
something?
go with nothing.
Here.
Oh
That's
no,
kinda
or
cute.
Let me read,
nothing,
like, two.
or a vacuum.
Wait,
okay.
he got you a vacuum.
Well, we kind of bought it for ourselves, but
Okay, that's cute. We still like it.
okay.
Okay, biggest fear.
Car accident.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, dark.
No, I know, but I didn't know you were in one.
It's real.
Who has the higher sex drive? I'm like trying to whisper because I know he's right there.
Oh God. It kind of goes back and forth, but I would say probably
Currently.
him.
Him? Okay.
How would you describe your time in bed? Fast and furious, broken down, or slow and steady wins the race?
Oh, fast and steady at the
Fast.
same time.
Fast and furious or slow and steady? Or a little in between?
He's not going to be able. So it's just that answer. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I
what
think
would-
he's going to say slow and steady,
Okay.
but I think it's fast and furious.
Okay. You know what? We have different perspectives on
Everybody
different
sees
things,
it
right?
differently. Okay, last one. Weirdest place that you and Curtis have made love?
Oh. There's so many. I don't. I mean, I'm not like, but I
Kill
like
me.
that's a fun thing to do. It's just
It
like,
is
hey,
fun.
how are we have sex here?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
like,
We
that's
should have
just-
prepped you for this. So take your time. We're
Okay,
making you
okay.
sweat. Me and Sid can sit here and chat. We're good
Yeah.
at that.
Okay,
So-
weirdest place.
Hey, Sid.
La, 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 la. Weirdest place. Oh my God.
Think of like, there's got to be a few.
Oh, a beach.
that's
Which beach?
good.
Which beach? Which beach?
That's fine.
Which I'm trying to think of like the most recent ones
Yeah.
that like might be fresh on his mind to get
We'll say
points here.
beach. And if he gets that, it's
No,
good
no,
to
no,
go.
no, no. What's the beach? Secret Beach
Secret beach. Okay.
in Oregon.
Curtis,
Curdy.
come on back. Come on down. You have just won
Come
a new
on
car.
in, Curdy. Did you hear that? Oh, love it.
Oh, that's so
Okay.
sweet.
Curtis, yours literally the nicest,
sweetest-
like sweetest rule following.
Yes,
like
he can't. He
kindest
can't
human.
lie. He can't. He follows rules.
What's your favorite thing about him as he's putting his microphone back on and headphones?
Honestly, my favorite thing is how sensitive he is. I know that's like such a thing, but I call him like my tenderloin. He is so tender and sweet. And like, and
Soft.
sometimes, no. It's so good to be sensitive. And I sometimes I give him a hard time for it because I'm like, I'm so sensitive. And I'm like, I think I've met my match who's more sensitive than me. But it's great because then we just we're both
You're in
like
your feels.
yeah.
Curtis, did
No, I
you
don't
grow
want
up
to hurt
with
your feelings. No, I don't want to hurt your feelings. It's okay.
Curtis, did you grow up with sisters?
Not till I have a half sister.
Okay.
But
She's 22.
Yeah, she's
Why do you
very
think
much
you're
younger.
Why do you think you're tender and
My mom.
emotional?
My
Your
mom. I'm a mama's boy for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And his mom's an all boy mom. So
Yeah, she's
she's-
I always like everybody.
she's
It's
a
an
force.
interesting description of her, and like even she would probably hear it and be like, okay, not that. But I always tell her, I'm like, you're a gangster.
Oh, I love
She is.
100.
Mama, you a
She is.
gangster.
She's
She
like
is a force.
Yeah,
she's
God, I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
while you
so
were
good.
gone, we bugged Jenni
great.
and we asked her some questions
I'm just so embarrassed that
her.
I can't think of anything better than these.
or some questions about her, and you
Okay.
have to answer them.
Oh, sweet.
And you have
front
to
of her?
you have to answer what you think she answered. Okay. So, what is Jenni's favorite food?
Favorite all food?
Yeah. Just like a category.
Pizza?
Okay,
Oof, fail.
wrong.
Try it
Sandwiches.
one more time.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
We'll give him one more chance.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely cold cuts, but like we get down on some. We have every kind of pizza. Like we have our like a very specific
Hint,
set
hint,
of
what'd you
sandwich
eat?
spots.
Rewind. What'd you say?
We have a very like specific set of sandwich spots.
There you
that's
go.
Like,
Ding,
yeah,
ding, ding,
yeah.
ding, ding.
Winner.
Does
can tell you.
Jenni have a signature dance move?
Ooh. She probably does. I'm in her like in the flowy pants that like when you wear the big ones. Yeah. I don't know.
Flowy pants.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just thinking of her shaking her ass.
He's like
Yeah.
that booty. It moves so
No,
nice.
I remember like in Bali. That's all I
Oh,
can
you
think
know what
about.
it is? It's like when you, like-
yeah.
I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. I got my bingo flag here.
Yeah.
Brought my bingo
She has
flags.
more than one dance move, so it's
Yeah.
But what's like most commonly if I'm in the car, like what do I start to do? Like just try and be me for a second. Like just think if
you
I'm
just start to sing a song that we haven't heard in years. Like you'll go into like a
jukebox baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
sugar, sugar.
that's no motion, just
What?
shouting it.
Okay. All right.
okay. She said a little shoulder move.
Oh,
Can you picture it?
I mean, yeah, I can, but
Yeah.
I don't get it enough. If you
Yeah.
if
I
you
don't
want
get
that
it
to be
enough.
if you want if you
Sorry.
want that to
I
be your
didn't-
brand as your dance move, then
I don't think I've
start
done the flowy
reinforcing
pant
it.
move since Bali.
It's been a minute. It's been a
reinforcing
minute.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the weirdest gift you have given her?
I know that she had definitely said nothing.
Yeah, that's actually what she said first.
But I have logic behind that. It's like I don't.
You don't get her gifts?
It's like my personal vendetta on like marking days and time and saying like because this is happening this day. It matters. Here you go. I'm like, dude, I want to give you a gift on a Tuesday when it doesn't matter. Like,
okay.
Curtis.
I don't.
I know,
I'm
I
the
know.
same. Hey, I am like,
Where
I'm
the
the
hell are
Grinch.
you finding these?
I'm
like,
the Grinch for
found
Christmas,
them on
though.
TV.
Like that's a weird.
Believe it or not, Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley's.
But
World
it-
record.
Found this
yeah,
guy.
the negative side of that is like Christmas. She's a huge Christmas person.
I'm like, gifts are my love language. And he's like,
I'm like,
none for you.
no.
None for you.
Yeah.
You little Grinch.
My
I'm
love
like,
at all
those things
times,
don't
every day, all
matter.
the time is my
Yeah.
gift to you forever. I'm
But
like,
seriously, where do we find these Curtises?
I want to give you to all my friends. Like
Just
I want
recently-
to clone
Yeah,
you
I
and be
know.
like, here.
just recently a friend of mine FaceTimed me and she goes, hey, I think I found my Curtis. And I was
What?
like,
You didn't tell me that.
Oh, I'm
I
gonna
know.
use that phrase.
I know.
Do you have
It's
a
so
Curtis?
cute.
Do you have a Curtis for me?
Ooh. Come to California. See,
Yeah.
us.
All right.
See what we
San Diego,
got.
we
See
gotta
what
have
we
some good
got.
friends.
See what we got.
You go.
What is her biggest fear?
Oh, this is like a family thing. It's something happening in a car.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ding ding ding.
Which
Which
you
is
hit that one on the head.
Also, she's like, nah. I mean, you're a defensive driver. You're good. There's room for improvement for sure.
You're good.
So nice about it too.
You're good,
I
but
drive.
you also not a great driver.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
he
all right.
says.
Just a little bit more anticipation would be
Oh.
nice.
Oh, okay.
Might save some things.
And I liked.
Who-
I'm sorry.
She goes, sorry, Jenny. Who has this higher sex drive?
I don't. Well, what time of the month is it?
Currently.
Current now?
I guess maybe me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
You're winning these.
How would you describe your time in bed with Jenni? Fast and furious, broken down, or slow and steady?
There's 3 options. Broken
Yeah.
down.
I didn't even
I
hear
didn't know what
broken
broken
down.
down
Let's
was.
just do fast and furious or slow and steady.
Broken down.
The-
If he said
Crumbles in
broken
between.
down,
It depends on where we're at in
Where
the
we
experience. Where we at?
Where we at? No.
hey, where we at?
where
we
we at,
fast and
though?
furious.
It depends on where we are in the process
Slow
of
and
sex, I
steady.
guess. There would be benefits to.
What do you think she answered?
Yeah, you kind of have to have both. I see what you're saying.
I don't know. Fast and Furious, I guess. I don't know.
That's what I said. But I did say both. I was
Yeah.
like, I was like between there somewhere, but I
Great.
didn't know
Thanks,
the
Jen.
between was broken down.
Or-
Yeah.
And that's not.
No, we don't like the broken
What-
down
what-
anyways. What the hell?
What is broken down?
If
I
it
don't know.
Crippled and bent. No, I mean, I'm kidding. I just made that up. I didn't know
That was a
that
good
broken
one.
down was in there. That's
Yeah.
I just had the worst
That is
visual in my
hilarious.
head.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Skip that.
I'm going to go with option 3. Broken
Okay.
down. We're very broken down.
No.
Final question. Weirdest place you and Jenni have made love.
Oh.
Isn't this hard?
Weirdest?
Yeah, see, but I just went with
Depends. Oh, like,
Wildest. Wow. Wild West. You know.
Take your time. We kind of put her on the spot too. We should have prepped you guys a little.
What's that spot? By the this is so weird. What a
Down
weird
by
made-up-
the bay.
It's down by the river. What's the spot by the river?
Oh,
Yeah, it's like, is it in St. Paul?
it's in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Buffs.
There's like some steps.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're
It's like,
talking.
It's like stadium seating, kind of.
How did you guys not know that someone was not going to come?
I think there was someone around.
Oh, it was super late at night, and yeah,
I just
it
get
was
nervous.
It was when he was here
yeah.
visiting.
I always get nervous too, and she's like, "It's happening."
Oh, and you're like, oh, okay. All right, saddle up, cowboy.
Yeah.
It's more fun when it's a little nerve wracking
Yeah.
and on the edge. You
For
know?
you guys, congrats. Meanway, I'm
I
just
know.
in
He's
my
like,
own
my
head.
dick's
Like,
out.
shaking.
My dick's out.
Shivering. Okay, very fun. We need to transition into our little straight candid moments and advice.
Okay.
So we can get you guys the heck out of here for dinner. So
Yeah, we got Mama's birthday dinner.
Mama,
Mama's
this is for Mama.
birthday.
So
All right.
take us away.
Straight Cannon Moments. So, welcome to our listeners' Straight Cannon Moments presented by Bud Light Seltzer, specifically the Seltzer Lemonade Iced Tea Variety Pack. Every week, you guys write in and tell us your craziest stories that need to be shared. These moments are things that don't quite make sense when they happen, but when combined, they make a hell of a good story, just as the Bud Light Lemonade and Iced Tea Variety Seltzer will combine to make one hell of a drink. So, here we are sharing your experiences to make mistakes more laughable, moments more relatable, and candidness more common. So, instead of having a listener straight candid moment, we're going to actually have you guys share maybe something funny, vulnerable that have happened to you two.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go for it.
Take it away.
Okay, so it's funny. We were just talking about sex.
You go.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why it's a great transition.
Sorry, Mom.
Did
Dad.
you say sex? Let's do it.
Yeah, we like a couple weeks ago, we were starting to have sex, and
Dweedling.
yeah, and it was it's
That's what you call
it's
foreplay?
it's honestly it's happened a few times, not a ton, but like for some reason we were both in a very conversational mood, and the whole experience proceeded to be like broken up by like talking and laughing at each other, which it was like we like kept kind of trying to reset and like, okay, get serious, focus up.
Bring it
Yeah,
back.
we were like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
come on, we got this.
But
no,
then
no,
like
for
we
real.
just
Look at me,
couldn't,
both
and
look
then,
at, and then
yeah.
just, we
and
couldn't
then
get
like
it.
there was so many
Couldn't-
opportunities to make like a joke at each
Yes,
other.
100%.
Yeah.
Or it was like, wait, what are we doing tomorrow? We got to go do this and this. And he's like,
It's
Jenni,
weirdly
we're here right now. We're
conversational,
here
like,
right now.
Let's just be together.
And yeah, and I just can't, life is too serious to be serious
Yeah.
all the time. Wait, is that, I don't
Life's
think
too-
what I know what
wait,
I mean.
Life is too serious to be
Life
serious.
is
you-
not serious.
I feel like you
Or
couldn't
wait,
miss an
That was actually-
opportunity to have a one-liner though. You're like, I got
And-
and boom.
I was gonna say-
for yourself.
That was
right.
actually what she was saying while it was
Yeah.
happening. It was
Yeah,
like,
sure.
life is too soon. No, it wasn't.
I
was
don't know.
really?
I don't know if that's like so. Man, I maybe for a moment you had to be there, or maybe you've been there before,
Oh,
where
I've
you're
been
just
there.
like,
Yeah, have you ever had like a full conversation?
Mine
and
has
you're like,
happened.
wait, we're in
Yeah.
romantic time right now. We got to be hot and sexy. Get sexy, come
but
on.
I can't stop talking.
And then I can't stop laughing, and then the noise. You know, there's
Yeah.
a noise here, there's a squeak there, there's a rub there, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh.
Or when your boobs clap together and it sounds like a fart. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't have boobs big enough for that.
Neither do I. I don't know
I
what
don't
that
either.
means.
I
I'm
don't
like,
know how
oh,
it
I mean, but they go, you know, and maybe they're slapping against my rib cage. I'm not sure.
When a
Feel it
farting
cage.
noise. When a farting noise gets made during sex, it's always
Oh,
the
you
best.
can't.
You
I mean,
can't.
that's when you. I mean, I think it depends on where you're at in your relationship. If you don't laugh at it,
Yeah.
you
like,
just try
don't be
and
so serious.
blow by it.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
nope, didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. You hear
We're
that?
both
No,
still here. This is amazing.
Everyone's face just gets.
Yeah.
nope.
You're
Keep
like
going,
kind of
keep
still
going,
moving
just
around. You're
keep
like,
moving.
la, la, la,
Like,
la.
where are we now?
Up and down. You got this.
Then you're done.
Just stay
What?
focused.
Did you
But
get- did you hear
know,
that?
yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
neither.
You after a while, you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
You know, what was that?
I don't know.
I don't know how that noise even was possible. I didn't know that noise was possible.
I kind of had like something sitting on my side, and when I went like this, you know, like when I do that, you know, it's not making the noise now, but it did it that
But
time.
it did it that one time, you know,
Like
when
one
you
of
go like
those.
that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me, not you or anyone else. It's just me. Okay.
Okay, that's fucking good. I just like
We
it
can
makes you
save this
human.
one.
You want to? Should we save this?
Yeah.
Let's save it for later.
Okay. Because we already
Let's
had
do
a
that.
little bit of advice questions
Yeah,
with
we
reality
did.
TV and
Okay.
with your reality TV show. Do you guys have anything else that maybe was not mentioned prior in this episode that you want to just quick put out there before we wrap up? I feel like we covered a lot.
I feel like
Honestly, we covered a lot
lot.
of ground, but I was
Yeah.
gonna say too, if there's any like burning questions that listeners have and they really just want to know, I mean, honestly, like you could send them over to us and
Yeah.
we can try and see what we can answer. If
yeah.
anyone's curious about, oh, what about this or this specifically?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I had a question. One last question for you guys.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
who should we have on our show next?
Ooh. Do we-
Just like
Do we have
anyone.
options?
Anyone. Who do you think would be fun? I mean, obviously,
have you had any athletes?
no.
I would say an athlete. It would be an interesting, like that's another
But a
kind
female athlete.
Yes.
Yeah. Or
baby.
even
of. Yeah,
anybody.
that would-
I guess I should
would
say.
love to see, like female athlete would be a good
We
one.
have
That'd be
had
badass.
we have had a competitive bodybuilder female,
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
and
okay,
she
that's
killed it. It
cool.
was a good episode.
I know a
Okay,
pro
that's
soccer
awesome.
player woman,
Yeah.
but she's also
So-
married to a pro hockey player, and she
Oh,
said
wow.
I've asked her,
Oh.
and she said she would come on, so that's a good idea. But anyone you know, even I guess I should have asked that too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't
We can think on
go
it.
outside.
I'm gonna
very
think on
much.
that and get
And-
back to you guys because that would. I know some people. I know some people that got stories.
I don't know
I know
anybody.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like the
Yeah.
best part about this is connecting with
Oh my
other
gosh,
people too.
actually,
to
so
hear
funny.
other stories.
Like, so my mom's like, what? Like, because she was asking us about the show, and she was like, well, do they want anyone in their mid 50s, like back on the dating scene?
Who's
Would that be
dating?
fun to know
Yes.
how hard it is to date in your 50s? And I was like, Mom,
yes.
I'll
Careful
bring it.
what you wish for.
I'll run it by
Yeah,
him.
there
but
it is.
yeah, I don't know. That was
Your
the only thing.
mom.
I know, Robin. She's
Cute.
the best.
Yeah.
That
She's
would
the
be
best.
fun.
It would be really fun.
Honestly, like even just getting a little panel of like some moms,
Some ladies.
some single ladies.
What I was going to say
Just kidding,
though
I
is
know.
we will post a questionnaire on our Straight Candid so
Yeah,
people can
yeah.
ask questions and then we'll send them to you guys and share them on our story. So
Yeah.
if you guys
Yeah.
have questions
Yeah.
Thursday when this episode
Yeah.
goes live, we'll put a question box if you have any more questions for Jenni and Curtis and then
Yeah.
we'll follow up on
Yeah,
the story.
we'll get all the deets. But you two, thank you for opening up about it again because you've probably told this
Yeah.
story so many times, but you also haven't been able to go into detail
Yeah.
and
Right.
like have it be shared to an audience of people who are wanting to hear from you. And I can't thank you enough for coming. That was really fun.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We've actually never gone on record and like talked about it together and talked about our relationship. So this was super fun. And man, I feel like we like got into a good chunk, but there's so much more.
know.
So
I
it's
know
like,
there
is. Well, really
but-
quick, plug you
yeah,
guys. Plug
yeah.
your Instagrams or wherever
Oh,
people
yeah,
can find
yeah.
you at. They want to know.
yeah,
where
if you want to see
follow.
what we're up to, we live
Yeah.
in San Diego. I used to live here, but obviously this guy was like, I was like, you could move here or I could move there. And then
San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego
Diego.
won. So anyway, my Instagram is just my name, just Jenni Knapmiller. It starts with a K. Take a nap, have a Miller with a K. Yeah,
Cool.
Jenni with an I. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and mine's just Curtis at Curtis Hadzicki.
Yeah.
Curtis
God, you guys
at
are so
what?
Curtis
easy.
at Curtis. No, it's just at Curtis Hadzicki. My
His last name is
Yeah.
Hadzicki.
Just type in Curtis.
It's my
H-A-D.
future last name.
Hadzicki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Curtis HAD and my
Had.
stuff
Should pop.
come up. Yeah.
Well,
Love it.
Yeah.
While you're following them, follow us at Straight Candid Podcast on Instagram, please. And
Do
thank
it.
you. Also, like, subscribe, rate. Check out our YouTube, please. We're vamping it up. I'm adding a banner tomorrow. So
If you
let's get
want
it
to
going.
see, if you want to see Jenni's signature dance move, you're gonna have to check us out
Shoulder
on
roll.
YouTube. So
Shoulder roll.
There's the shoulder roll girls out there.
yeah,
You
That's
feel
one.
me?
You
I'm
feel
in
it.
it.
You
I get
feel
it.
it.
That's
You
like
know?
my
Curtis and
shoulder
Jenni
roll.
saw it the other night.
I mean, oh yeah. Oh, hey.
That's
Shout
like
out
the
to
dance
Lou.
move
You
that
saw mine.
every girl does after a little glass of wine.
Yeah.
Right there.
Or a Bud Light seltzer, you know.
Hey.
Also, shout out to Back Pocket for producing our podcast. They are making our videos and audio sound fabulous.
So
Fabulous.
fresh.
Anyway, thank you for being here again, you guys. I appreciate
was
you. You guys are
awesome.
hella fun.
Yeah, thanks for having
and
us.
we love you. And see you later. Happy Thursday. Adios.
Bye. Adios.
Boom! Dog, no.
Oh my god, that time fucking flies.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, we kept
No,
No,
running on.
don't be sorry. This is like content.
Hey.